This video is made possible by the following cuties. You can check out the gear they provide for me in the description below. Hey guys, no longer mustached boy here, and welcome back to Assetto Corsa for another video. Now before I start off, I have to say a massive thank you to everyone who supported us and the team in the race for mental health this weekend just gone. With the generosity of you guys and the people that took part in the race, we raised somewhere in the region of £36,000. There is still money coming in at the moment. For the Mind charity, which is absolutely amazing, and I can't say thank you enough. So back to this video, and I was browsing Race Department earlier on this morning to try and find an idea for today's video, and I saw that recently there was a 1967 version of the Nurburgring released as a mod for Assetto Corsa, and of course, as you know, I am a slut for all things Nurburgring, so I jumped straight on it. Now of course things are very different from the Nurburgring in the 60s. Auto addiction, for example, weren't banned from filming, and they didn't allow any old fuckboy to come along in a BMW and do a lap. And I'm very interested to see how the modern day circuit compares to this one from the late 60s, and to do that I'm going to be driving a period correct car. This is the Porsche 908, roughly 350 brake horsepower from the 8-cylinder engine just behind the driver's head, and because safety didn't really matter in the 60s, this car only weighs 680 kilos, meaning that if you do have a crash, the crumple zone is your face. But anyway, time for some exploration. Let's go see what a 50-year-old Nordschleife looks like. Right then, here we are then, predictably in the pit lane, about to start our exploratory lap, I guess, of the old school Nordschleife. Something to note before we get going is that in the late 60s, there wasn't a GP circuit. It just didn't exist at this time. It was more just a straight line with a little loop on the end of it. So don't expect to see that on this little drive round. But let's make our way out of this pit. It's not really a pit lane, really. It's a pit area on the side of the track, and let's hope my shifter holds together for this lap. Off we go then in our Porsche 908. This thing accelerates pretty damn quickly, as you can imagine. As I said, it only weighs about 680 kilos, so it gets up to speed pretty damn quickly. And immediately, we come down to the first part of the course, which is a long left-hander. Very similar to the Ford curve on the GP circuit we have today. But then we go round to the right here, onto the Nordschleife. So long right hand, and this is about when my track knowledge ends, because I've only done about this much driving so far to get used to the car. And here we are then, down I guess the main straight, up through the gears, up into fourth. You can see just how much tighter it is than the modern day circuit, and I can see right now a left-hander coming up, so I'm going to slow the car down. Nice banked left hand, this will be a lot of fun on the downforce car going through here, very bumpy though. And I think this is us coming onto the Nordschleife now, so as you can see right on, there's no connecting loop as there is today, it just goes through to there. And now we go down the hill towards Hassenbach for the first time. As you can see already, of course, no barriers here. The barrier is a tree. Does a good job of slowing you down, but not really safely. And hedges either side as well, so it really is stay on the road at all costs. No curb that you're seeing there. Oh, that's tighter than I thought it was, just about slowed it down. You see the curbs are starting to appear now, and they are very high. Do not touch those bad boys, or you will go for a, well, the big sad will happen, is what will happen. As we come down the hill now, so I'm trying not to stall this thing. I should be in second, not third. It's kind of hard driving a car like this on a track you don't, well, I kind of know it, but I don't know it. It's odd. So I think we're coming down now, yep, downhill, towards the little straight before the Flugplatz. The corner names there on the signs at the side of the road, which is pretty damn cool. Up to fourth gear, and here is the Flugplatz up here. I wonder how much speed I can take over this. I'm going to just have a little bit of a dab of the brakes. Whoa, still nearly took off there. A lot longer, actually, between the Flugplatz and this double right-hander. Now we can really open her up, coming over the crest here, and then back down the hill. This is actually quite similar to the modern day layout, although it doesn't. The turn to the right here is definitely not there anymore. Oh wow, that's air. Gonna slow it right down over the crest, and then heavy on the brakes down to Arenberg. One of the few corner names I actually know around here. I should probably know more by now, shouldn't I? Oh, understeer there. The road falls away at you in such a way. Now we come down towards the compression, and my word, look at this, it's just hedges either side of the circuit. That's pretty cool. Very good for sense of speed, not so good for the old safety, but as we know, we're in the 60s, so that doesn't matter. No curb on the inside there, of course. I'm so used to taking that in the modern day circuit that I actually went to try and take it there and realised it wasn't there at the last second. So, into this tight part now. Now, does Rebel Tree exist in this timeline? Or is he just... I think he was just a boy at this time. This is Rebel Tree origin story here. No, he's not there. He's just a sapling, bless him. He's still growing up. Anyway, let's try and focus on the road and not on where our tree boy is. There you go, nice and easy through there. Having the hedges either side is actually quite comforting. It feels like you're on a bit of a Sunday drive. But then you realise people drove F1 cars around here, and then you realise just how crazy old Nordschleife was. Down now, this corner is still a bitch, even in this old version of the circuit. Now this little third gear, tap of the brake through here, tip it in. Yep, okay, coming up to miss, hit, miss now. There's a fence on the inside now, so you can hit a fence if you feel like really enacting that miss, hit, miss. Now we come down to the heaviest braking point of the circuit. I don't know how tight this is in this version, so I'm going to slow down really nice and early. There is a literal wall there if you make a mistake. That's very old school racing, isn't it? Oh, here's a familiar view though. This looks very similar. A couple of little campsites on the right there. Bigger than my shed, I'm jealous. I'm going to slow it down a bit earlier. I'm really not driving fast, just more of a exploratory outlap, as I said before. Let me come up the hill here. Ooh, I always forget the change of elevation there. It really upsets the car if you're not being careful with it. A very fast section, of course, in the modern circuit. This corner can be flat if you're in a car that can do it. This car cannot, and it's a bit tighter as well here. And now into Bergwerk. Thank you, signs. Signs at the side of the circuit are making me seem more informed than I actually am. I like that about this version. So now, this should be pretty much flat all the way up here. Should be. Again, I'm not sure how the track is developed. You can just see how it's just a field, this circuit. It's just a blimmin' a tarmac path going through a field, which makes it seem even more intimidating, especially when you see the trees whizzing by. And there's just no barrier there. The barrier, I think, takes away a sense of speed. When it's not there, you get a real feel for how the circuit actually is. I'm going to be careful over here. Ooh. Did I just catch hair then? My word, okay. So, around this left-hander now. Again, there's a big runoff. There's a kind of curb there you can use on the exit in real life. Again, the runoff here is just a tree, so don't want any of that. Through the kink. Oh, that's a bit too quick into there. Lamppost! Oh, no, we're good. Luckily, I've got the off-road 908, so we're all good. That was the corner that I definitely didn't have a moment with Nicky Katzberg on. Definitely didn't. Didn't happen, not on video. And now up to the carousel. Let's see how this thing was back in the 60s. Was it the same? It must have been the same. I don't think it's changed, really. Down the second gear, and yeah, pretty much exactly the same. Of course, there's no big wall on the outside now. Bigger curb on the inside there, and actually this is in better nick than the modern day carousel, but I guess that's just years of use. This is a mod track after all, of course. Now, into what is my favourite part of the track, this kind of last section. I'm so used to just attacking this part of the course, but I don't feel confident doing that right now. The changes, whilst the circuit looks very much like it did back in the 60s, the little changes are enough to really put you off. Just, you know, some corners are a little bit tighter. The road doesn't quite take the same path as it does in the modern day version. So you kind of find yourself being a little bit scared. And you see that off to the right there, that's a ditch. You can see a crest over there if I get that wrong. Oh, Timmy, watch out. Getting a little bit too Tokyo Drift. Although it's Nurburgring, so drifting is not allowed, and no one ever does it. Don't film it. Second gear, down the hill. I love this corner in the modern day version. And my word, those little fence posts at the side of the road are intimidating. They all grab your car. Oh, there's a jump here. Ooh, I didn't know that existed. And we'll wave to old school auto addiction. Sorry lads, love you. I know, there's meant to be a jump over here, of course. So this corner, oh, okay, that's a lot less. The modern day corner is a bit sharper. It's kind of a more immediate corner. That's more of a flowing corner. Over the crest, oh my, that's a lot tighter than modern day course. Rally 908 comes together again. Oh, the little hop. And we're coming up to the end of a lap now, or not too far off. And this part is very quick. It's kind of flat on the modern day version of a circuit. Pretty much from here all the way down to the big braking zone in the bottom here in a modern day GT3. We're out in the modern day GT3. This isn't the modern circuit, so definitely not flat. Oh, okay. That's been straightened out a lot. See, I took my line I would take for the normal track there and just completely straight lined it. Aim for the tree. Still use that tip, it seems. Well, this is different. Big crest, up a hill now. Oh, this corner's a bugger usually. With elevation, I don't even want to try it. Now coming up to the second carousel, which unfortunately was not lost to time, if only it was. Wow, there's nothing on the inside there. The carousel runs right down to the grass. So up the hill, and now the last kind of proper corner before coming on to the back straight. And I don't know what happens here, because this is where the track, you know, we would go onto the GP circuit at the end of a lap, or we'll reconnect round to the rest of a Nordschleife. Doesn't do that here. Oh, there, the very familiar bushes at the side of a circuit. Getting GPL vibes at the moment. You can see, far from being flat down here, much more elevation. Am I going to get air off this? There's a real chance I might. Oh! Wheeling! Why the hell not? Let's wheel here on 908. But where do I brake? And when do I brake? Who do I brake? I don't really... I'm going to start braking now at this bridge. Okay, so we've got a little bit more time. So the track is quite similar here. Again, I'm going to just give myself plenty of room. I've got old brakes. Now I can see up here where it goes, so we're good. And now we're going to slide it down. I see a barrier. The first barrier I've actually seen on this circuit, I think. For the last part of the lap. And now we spear off to the left, as you do actually in the modern day circuit. And there you go. We reconnect with the circuit itself. And that is a lap of the old school Nordschleife in a Porsche 908. Well, I've got to say, it's kind of crazy to see how much things haven't changed, I should say. I mean, there are differences, of course. Like, as I said, there are just barriers in places that you wouldn't want barriers, and there's not really any runoff. Well, it's not runoff on the modern day circuit, but there's no curbing. There's no barriers at the side of the circuit, so if you do actually go off, you are going to be just claimed by the trees. And it seems like it's been smoothed out a lot from the old school track, and this is the loop I was talking about, by the way, coming back onto the track. You see, it's literally just up and down and back out again. But yeah, I think that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. I would be interested to try and do a couple more laps around here. Maybe even try a race with that AI at some point. I'm not sure if they work around here, but it could be a lot of fun. Anyway, mod link will be below, so you can try it out for yourself. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. If you really enjoyed it, make sure to hit subscribe and the bell notification icon, because that way you'll be made notified of future videos like this and future streams. As always, a massive, massive thank you to my patrons and to my sponsors. You guys rock. Take care. Have an awesome day. Leg waxing and chest waxing coming soon. See you all next time.